All of his stuff looked good, so probably too good because it was probably snug, but he was different in everything that he did. He locked up different. He locked up snug.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
All right, what's up? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Snug Wrestling. I am Edgar. I'm your host, like always, and happy Sunday. It's a beautiful day to talk about wrestling today. For those of you that are following us live, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And if not, you're probably not going to be listening on a Sunday, but it's all good. We got a special show for you today. I got a couple guests from the Heel Turn Wrestling Podcast. What's going on, guys?
That was good.
Good.
Well, we're about to find out because a lot of shit has been happening lately that I want to get your guys' opinion on, and we're going to be going over some interesting topics. One of the topics I feel like it's already been covered, it's been touched on so many times, but I haven't really had the chance to talk about it with anyone yet. So I'm bringing this up. I'm a little bit late to the game, but I'm talking about Tiffany Stratton and that crazy video that she did. Obviously, I'm sure you guys covered it. Also, everyone has been talking about it, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was. I feel like it was overblown. Definitely overblown. Just quick thoughts. Oh, definitely overblown.
You think so? Damn.
Yeah.
So, okay, was there like different versions of this video? Because the one that I saw, it was pretty bad.
Well, the one that I seen was her going over to Jade Cargill, swinging on her, is saying "black bitch" in the background, and then you see Bianca Belair's face zoomed in. That was what I saw, and honestly, even seeing that, I mean, if Tiffany Stratton was the one that came over, said it, and punched her, okay, then maybe that's kind of you might seem a little weird, but I mean, it's a voiceover. She is a heel. Like I didn't see nothing wrong with it at all.
Devin, what did you think about this?
Well, see, when I first saw the video, my volume wasn't even all the way up, so I'm like, oh, she just. Cause I thought that part of the match was kind of funny how they showed Bianca's face, like, dang, she just took out like that. Yeah. But then once I, replayed it a little louder and heard what was actually said, I thought maybe she did the same thing I did, just seeing the edit and thought it was probably funny the way it was cut, but didn't really listen to it. But at the same time, if that is the case, that's still on her because should have been listening to what you posted and being conscious about it. But at the same time, I don't think that it's such. I don't think it should like cause an effect of her maybe losing wherever spot she was going to be or something like that. Because I don't think it was something where it could be easily looked at where it was an accident, not something she just wanted to actually do and offend somebody. Because why? Mm-hmm. Why in 2024 you want to do that on purpose?
No, you don't. I don't even think she's that like oblivious to the world that we live in now. So I don't know. We'll see what they say about that. And you brought up an interesting point. Now, what's going to happen with her booking? Because it looked like when she came up to the main roster, she came in guns blazing, man. She was getting crowd reactions. It looked like she was getting big matches. She was going to get this push. And now there's a lot of speculation that, well, because of this video, that might not happen. But according to the dirt sheets, the lovely dirt sheets that we all love, the rumor behind the scene now is that has nothing to do with it. The video, she has no heat backstage, and everything is going accordingly. What the plan with Tiffany Stratton was. Now, Devin, you think that this video shouldn't affect Tiffany Stratton, right?
No.
Okay. Izzy, what about you? What are your thoughts on, because I believe on Friday Night SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton had a match and lost, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, and even then, I'm expecting Tiffany Stratton to still have an amazing 2024. I'm not expecting her to go off for the rails and get punished for this because, like I said, I think it's a little unnecessary. If she did anything if she did this to the extreme, then okay, yeah, there should be some punishment to this. But I mean, I don't think anybody was hurt. I don't even think Jade Cargill or Bianca was even offended to it. I mean, we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard any reports on it, but I the fact that they worked together right afterwards says, it wasn't a problem. So yeah, I think Tiffany Stratton should be good for 2024. Hopefully.
Yeah, me too, man. I was one of the ones that I noticed she has like some it factor. I don't know what it is, but Tiffany Stratton, when she was in NXT, I'm like, oh man, this girl's gonna be big. And as soon as she got up there, she started getting all these crowd reactions. So hopefully, Tiffany Stratton, she's still on course. The article here was suggesting that Tiffany Stratton should maybe step back in the short term to kind of wait for this heat to go away. I don't know if it is going to go away or not, but man, this is such a shitty situation. I feel kind of bad, not just for Tiffany Stratton, but like, it's just, I can't believe that this is even a thing nowadays,
Yeah, it's just a mess, man. And now, and you're looking at all the situations that we're getting into, and now I don't know. And I don't want to just compile this on you. I don't know what your stance on weed is, but you seen Liv Morgan and what she had to go through, and like that was a big deal for a certain amount of people out there in the world. But to even see the police officer going through her stuff and things like that, but everybody's making a huge uproar about it. Like there's things that are popping off, like the Liv Morgan situation. As minimal as that was, her getting caught. But the video of the police officer coming through and looking through her stuff, like that's getting some attention. I like that outcry because I feel like that was a little bit unfair. That's her privacy was she there was an invasion of privacy. But Tiffany Stratton, a heel, doing something a heel would do back in maybe 2010, maybe 5 years earlier than that. Like, yeah, I think it's childish.
Oh man. And the first thing that I thought of when I heard about this whole thing with Tiffany Stratton in this video, because a lot of the people that I was talking to or that I saw were kind of hating on the WWE because, it's been in history, WWE has always had these issues with race and racism within the company, going back to Vince McMahon wearing the do-rag, saying the N-word, and JBL, even kicking people out of the border, like. So it's been a big deal, and a lot of people are bringing that back, and it's like, okay, time out. Excalibur, when he was in PWG, like 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, it was a while ago, but still, Excalibur was like dropping all kinds of N-words, even the WB word. At one point, he pretended to be like disabled, like he was acting like he was like some type of paraplegic or something, like a vegetable type thing. And I know it was a long time ago, but Excalibur's 45 years old now, I think. That means 20 years ago, he was 25 years old. So at that age, you should probably already know, like, hey, maybe this is not the best thing to do right now. So I was just, reminding people that the people that are talking shit about the WWE, they have all the right to, because they're right. WWE has done some shitty things, but it's not just WWE. It's everywhere, basically, is what I'm saying. But that was my rant about the whole Excalibur situation. Did you guys ever hear about that? Did you guys watch those videos?
I did.
Okay.
Devin was the one that actually showed me. He told me about it. I was floored.
Yeah, it popped up on my Twitter, and I'm like, he said this, and I'm like, yeah, I just heard him on Dynamite the other day. Like,
yep, yeah, for sure. Even who has some issues? The Briscoe brothers had some issues over on AEW at one point for saying something on Twitter. I don't know, man. I just get so mad when everything is just one-sided, Oh, the WWE is a big, bad, evil corporation. I'm like, okay, I can say the same thing about other companies too, not just the WWE.
But what is your take on heels doing things like this? Like, for example, and I don't know if you remember this, Devin, so please tell me if I'm getting something wrong. Me and Devin, we went to an event one day, and there was a wrestling match going on, and this guy came out. He walked up to my brother who had glasses on. He says, "Why do you wear glasses? You people don't know how to read." Like, just saying that just to get some heat. Devin, do you remember that? Am I tweaking? I
feel like I wasn't there for this one.
I feel like you were. I feel like this was actually
because see, Because if I was, I would have got active. You know, and
Well, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. But it was certain things like that. And then what's his name? Was Juice Robinson earlier on? Now, granted, MJF did have an event afterwards. You know, kind of like a Jewish event afterwards, kind of promoting it. But
that's a
Juice
great
Robinson,
point.
you know, he came out with that little quarter, you know, comment. How do you feel about, you know, that type of heat getting brought in? A lot of people call it cheap heat, but I mean, it's as real as it can get.
That's a good question, dude. I don't think it should be done in a platform as big as AEW or WWE. If wrestlers do it like at an indie show where no one's watching, I mean, sure, I guess. Because I even went to an indie show one time over here in San Jose. I'm from California. It was called Revolution, and it was mostly Mexican luchador guys. So the heels, they had this border patrol gimmick where they would come out with the American flag, and most of the fans at this show, they're mostly Mexican. San Jose is mostly like Hispanic and Asian population in San Jose. So everyone that was going to these shows are Mexican. So here comes the big bad heels wearing, you know, border patrol, telling people to go back to their country.
Yeah.
And it's intense, man. But the fans, they were into it because they understand that, hey, this is just a work. This is their gimmick. You know, it's all, so the fans were playing into it, but also at the same time, you can't do that on national TV. You can't do that in a company like AEW or WWE.
Got you.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like I'm kind of 50-50 in that whole thing. But yeah, you guys, by the way, I didn't even ask you guys about your show, man. The Heel Turn podcast. How long have you guys been doing it? I was checking out your stuff, man, and you guys spit hot fire. You guys just go at each other back to back, man. I love it. It's entertaining. So tell us about that. Tell us about your show.
Oh man, we were doing it for about 2 years. I split out to we both from Hammond, Indiana. Well, I'm from Hammond, Indiana. Devin's from East Chicago. Devin can explain himself. Well, I mean, my bad. I was like, you can explain yourself later. My bad. But like, it was long story short, we did the podcast 2 years ago. I moved out here to Arizona, and all we've been doing is just talking wrestling and trying to find ways to expand. So it's been a whole lot of fun. We have so much that we can talk about and just be angry about as well. So it's dope.
Devin, how did you get started into this?
It's more on him for the angry side, but for me, really, this entire thing is kind of what we were doing in high school, just coming in. You know, I used to break the news to him walking in, like, "Hey, man, I never forget when I told him the Ultimate Warrior died," and he was like, "Man, shut up, no, he didn't." And I'm like, "It says it right here."
Yeah, I was like, he just gave us a speech.
Oh man, that's right.
I was as shocked as you. But you know, no, it's just been, like I said, bringing that to, you know, a platform of like podcasting or for streaming on Twitch or so. Just the same type of energy of us just talking about wrestling at the end of the day. Might get heated, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. No, that's dope, man. Because you guys don't just talk about wrestling, right? You guys talk about other stuff. I think, Izzy, you kind of mentioned something about having a TV show or something like that. Or did I miss? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, out here in Phoenix, I work for a TV station, iOS. I have a show, Izzy on Sports. And right now, I'd like to sprinkle some wrestling stuff in here. So that's why I was like, man, I got to have at least a couple clips just so I can show it out here just for the audience out. Because even though there's not a whole lot of people that love wrestling, at least on the TV station side, there is a decent amount of people that love. Number one, they kind of love Devin too. I do got to sprinkle that they kind of have a little bit of love for Devin, but even then, they still love to hear a little bit of wrestling and kind of the realism of it, because now it's hotter than, I can't say than it's ever been, but it's as hot as it's been 20 something years ago. So
yeah, it was kind of dead even for me too. There was a point in my time, I think from 2010 to like 13, where I was not watching because it was just
same.
It was man, it was rough. Devin knows what I'm talking about. Look, he's like, yep. He's like, that was rough.
Because I stuck through it. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Devin stopped. I think you stopped watching at the wrong time, right? When did you stop watching, Devin? Because everybody has their moment when they stopped.
2019 to like, and I came back 2021.
Oh,
I
okay.
did
So
watch that
like right.
WrestleMania in the
Yeah.
Performance Center, but that was all that's all I could take.
Kind of like pre-pandemic era.
Yep.
Around, yeah, that was a rough time too. And Gunther also, he was one of the ones like us too that was like, man, I'm so glad I didn't go over to the WWE, during that time, because that was like hardcore Vince McMahon era time. And Gunther now, he's more grateful that he's a part of this era with Triple H. And I even have some quotes here that Gunther pretty much agreeing with what we were saying about this, where he says that he didn't want to come to the US for a long time because Raw and SmackDown was under Vince's vision. And at the time was something that was never appealing to him as a wrestler. Well, if it wasn't appealing to the wrestlers, it's not going to be appealing to us, the fans, either. So it was a rough time. He said, it was just not what I was interested in. Neither was anyone else. I'm a throwback, and I like to have my time for my matches, and I like to focus on what I do in the ring. So by that, I think he's saying that there's a lot more liberties that the wrestlers can take in the ring. They can get creative under this new management and all that. And now I think that's one of the reasons why it feels so fucking different now, but like in a good way, right? So how are you guys, or what do you guys think about this transition that's going on with the company?
Well, honestly, I really love what's going on. I love the transition. I really want to know just the inside scoop on Gunther, because we all were freaking out. We all remember hearing the name change from Walter to Gunther, and just the feeling of, okay, Vince McMahon has his hands on this. It's pretty much over. Like, Gunther's going to be dead in the water. Is pretty much what we were pretty much insinuating. But then when you see him kind of go through it all, but even on the side of that, he came through as a kind of a hefty dude. His match against Ilya Dragunov, the very first one, he wasn't looking like Gunther now. Like, he was a big boy. So yeah. I wonder if that was either his decision or Vince McMahon's decision to slim down. Like, I want to know, and if Gunther was okay with that. I want to know if he was miserable, like in WWE. Yeah. And I know I'm just insinuating and just speculating, but I really want to know how Gunther was feeling now, because he's telling us that he didn't want to go, but now it's really weird that he's not even considering the idea that he wanted to go over there with his man.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Devin, I'm gonna let you chime in here. Justin Time 211 said, "What's good, fellas? What's up, Justin?
The boss.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show." Yeah, Devin. So your partner in crime, Izzy, brought a lot of good points here about Gunther. What are your thoughts about these comments that the former Intercontinental Champion was making about Vince's era?
Well, it's really telling of how that mid 2022 to now, where Triple H stepped in for the head of creative and Vince sort of kind of stepped away. It's just from that point forward, it's like, if you're gonna bring someone like a Gunther at the time from NXT, and like now fast forward to this year, you're bringing up Ilya Dragunov from NXT to Raw. You don't really have to worry about them changing so much of like their name, their music, even though that still kind of happens, but you don't have to worry about them being so rebooted by the time they got there that everything you watched and got attached to in NXT, it just doesn't matter anymore, because now they're this new main roster product, and that's what you're gonna get. And really, this entire transition is great, because it's like, if they give us something, it's not like they're like, here, this is all we gonna give you and that's it. Because I do feel if we had this WrestleMania 40 with The Rock and Cody and maybe Vince was around, I really kind of feel like they would have just had Rock come out and be like, I'm about to fight my cousin, and I know you run the Royal Rumble and everything, and usually those people go on to WrestleMania, but nah. And I feel like that would have probably been the concrete plan, even if we were like, man, what the heck? You know what I'm saying, right? But with this new regime now, they've seen that and said, you know what? maybe that was stupid. Let's try to figure out the best of it, which is what they did. But I wouldn't have had that confidence, give or take, a few years ago.
Yeah, man. And Vince McMahon, even though he's not in the company, I don't think that I don't believe that he still doesn't have like a final say in that. I'm pretty sure he still has his hands somewhere involved in that company. Like the only thing that's going to stop Vince McMahon from having any say in the WWE is when he dies. And even then, maybe after that, that probably won't even be the case because there's still a lot of people in that company that are really close to Vince McMahon that still kind of push Vince McMahon's beliefs into that company. And kind of going back to what you said, Izzy, like, I wonder what made Gunther make that change, make that transition. And I have a theory about that. And you guys tell me what you guys think about this. Vince McMahon, Triple H, whoever, the high powers of WWE told Gunther, hey, we see you as the future of this company. At one point, we're going to strap the rocket and we're going to do all these things with you. We have big plans, but we need you to do this. We're going to change your name. We're going to, if you're going to be a top guy, you have to have a certain look. And that's something that's been done like over time in history where they tell the wrestlers like, hey, you got to lose some weight. And that's up to them if they want to do it or not. But if they're telling you, hey, we got big plans for you, you're going to be our guy, but we need you to do this. If it was me, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what it's going to take, then I'm going to do it. And I think that's what happened with Gunther.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because at the end of the day, if Gunther did all this and still if Vince McMahon put a rocket on him and just blew him up, at the end of the day, I feel like we were gonna realize that it was gonna be stupid regardless, no matter what route Gunther was going to take, because there was a point in time where, and that's where. And I don't mean to go on a tangent about AEW fans. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But that's what the difference is with AEW. People want to love AEW because, as you mentioned, WWE was so bad, for a long time period. So when you would have had Gunther come up with Vince McMahon under Vince McMahon and have Vince McMahon go over and control everything and control his run, it would have been disgusting. Like, it would have been downright pitiful. So I would have had zero faith in Gunther. And I think Gunther coming up here with Paul Levesque and them two making a way for each other is going to be spectacular. It's going to be awesome.
All the stars are aligning, man. Everything happens for a reason. The time is now. The time is right for Gunther. I didn't catch SmackDown, so I don't know what happened there, but I think Gunther's still in that tournament, the King of the Ring tournament.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be him. I think he's going to win it.
I agree.
I want him to take down Cody. I want him to take down Cody so bad.
I think that's the only person I think that should take down Cody at one point. I mean, who else?
I mean, he's still open to fighting Brock Lesnar. I mean, when are we ever going to see Brock Lesnar again?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we have to have that match. They're kind of dumb. They're kind of dumb if they don't. That's money being printed easily. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think for sure. But yeah, you mentioned AEW, and we're gonna talk a little bit about AEW. Devin, what's so funny, man? I just said a 3-letter. I just said a 3-letter word, man. You got something on your mind?
I gotta tell you, look. Over the course of maybe a year and a half, this man, Izzy, he is the reason why when I hear those 3 letters, I just can't, it's not in terms of disrespecting AEW. I'm like, whatever, joke, of a company.
Yeah.
It's just the past arguments this man is, in fights, I should say, that he's had to have with AEW fans that I didn't partake in because I already knew who I was dealing with. Once you give them facts and numbers, they don't want to say anything else.
Yeah, just to throw that out there, we don't hate AEW. We'll just post a small little critique, and then it'll be like 7 people that's just coming out here trying to tell us why we don't know wrestling. And it was just like, it's weird. It's just a weird time now.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. I'm right there with you guys. Also, when it comes to that, you say one negative thing, not even a negative thing, just your opinion on something, and it's not necessarily the nicest thing when it comes to AEW, and it's automatically like, oh well, you don't like AEW, so you don't know nothing about wrestling. I'm like, okay, that's
right.
all right.
But it's like the same people will watch Raw and SmackDown and will just obliterate it. We'll explain why it sucks. But like we can't do the same for the other. It's weird.
Yeah, no, literally, I think one time someone said to me, "You don't like AEW, so your opinion doesn't matter." And I was just like, "Whoa, okay." Oh shit!
Right.
First of all, yeah, I'm like, first of all, I do like AEW, not everything. I like some of the things on there, but if you don't love everything, then there's something wrong with you.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, no. So let's get into that, man. We got Double or Nothing. See, I'm a big supporter of AEW. I bought all the pay-per-views ever since it started. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this card. I just like watching wrestling on the weekends, dude. Just chilling.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Reminds me of the good old days back in the day. What do you guys think about this? Are you guys gonna watch Double or Nothing?
I am.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna watch Double or Nothing. Like you said, can't miss wrestling on the weekends. No, in the morning or at night.
All right, so we're gonna do kind of a flash round of predictions for the matches. I'm gonna name some of the matches for Double or Nothing, and you guys are gonna try to guess the winners of these matches. All right.
Got you.
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS Championship.
I got Willow. Nightingale.
Willow. If she doesn't win, we riot.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that. It would kind of suck if Mercedes Moné just came in and swooped that belt from her when Willow's been the one that's been working her ass off for a very, very, very long time to get this spot.
Yeah, you a Mercedes Moné fan at all?
No. Not just Mercedes Moné, but I even Sasha Banks it just irked my soul for some reason, dude.
I feel you. I don't disagree at all. You might have somebody here that'll disagree, but I don't disagree with you at all.
Well, look, I mean, she's not putting up a good argument for me right now. I mean, everything she's doing right now, she could have went back to WWE if that was the case.
Damn, harsh words, Devin. Be careful, bro. We got some AEW fans up in here, maybe.
I guess it's my turn to go.
Man, see, this is why I was like, man, I gotta have these guys on the show, man. They're gonna bring that heat.
All we're gonna do is clown, man. All we do is clown.
All right, Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Let me just say something real quick. Will Ospreay, that guy is amazing. And even this is from a lot of people say, "Oh, Edgar, you're just an e-drone." Well, hey, Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. So how about that? So who you guys got to win this one?
Oh man, Will Ospreay. Yeah, I didn't think Will was one of the great. I didn't have that same ideology you did till at least a year or two ago, if not less, just a little over a while ago. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch New Japan or TNA. There's just not enough time in the week, with my life to watch all this wrestling. So when he came over to AEW, that's when I really got to see what he was about. And man, I'm just like, and I've never felt that about any other wrestler that goes to AEW from New Japan. But Will Ospreay, he's just like, bro, he's something else.
So much charisma, man. He's electric.
Shout out to the Joe Panther Variety Show. Says, great job, guys. I just subscribed. Awesome. Thank you, man. See, you guys already giving me followers. Holy shit.
Hey, man, and a huge shout out to them too, man. They're following a great program. They definitely are.
Yeah, and be sure to check out your guys' show too, the Heel Turn Wrestling Podcast. Is that right? The Heel Turn Wrestling? Or is it just the Heel Turn Podcast?
Oh, it's just the Heel Turn Podcast.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Yeah, I was like, hey, we'll wear whatever flag you put on us, bro.
Nice. All right, let's go to the next match really quick for the women's championship. Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb.
I got Tony.
Yeah, Tony's more over. I want Serena to win. I think I gotta go Tony.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Serena Deeb just came back, but Serena Deeb is really good. But Toni Storm, man, that no one's taking her down, man. Her character's just it's too big right now, I think.
You think she's on like a Britt Baker run when Britt Baker's character was just like unstoppable for like a good year? You think she's going on that type of run?
I think she already surpassed Britt Baker in that, because this has way too many legs. I think like this character, this thing that Toni Storm is doing, some people don't like it, but this is going to be, I see this going on for a long time. And Britt Baker, she kind of cooled off a lot for some reason. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Devin, what's your prediction on that? What happened to Britt Baker? I know she's injured, right?
That's what they want us to think. With AEW, they could just be like, "Hey, I'm just waiting to be called by Tony to come back." Tony Khan, mentioned the previous Tony, but no, I mean, with my fault, I was gonna go with but the reason I'm picking Tony is I just feel with everything that she has with her with the Mariah May as well, I just feel there's still more story to tell, where maybe they'll turn on each other in some type of way. I'm not saying Mariah May will be the future women's champion, but I do think that there's still more of that story to be told, in which that's why I don't see her dropping the title.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much what everyone expects, especially Toni Storm being the heel. At one point, I think she's going to stab her, whatever she is, her valet in the back, or her personal assistant, or whatever role that she's playing there. Well, cool, man. We're pretty much like 3 for 3 so far. We haven't had Devin try to argue with none of our predictions, at least not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, usually he's like a raging animal sometimes. I don't know.
Really? Devin, I don't know, man. He seems way too chill to be raging and going crazy on people.
This guy pulls it out of me. I'm cool until bring up the bargain or something, and the gloves come off.
All right, well, let's see. We're gonna keep going down this list here really quick, and we'll see if any gloves be coming off here in a little bit. Let's go with Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage.
Look, I swear Strickland, he doesn't deserve to get his ass beat over and over and over again just to lose the belt right here in Double or Nothing against Christian Cage. I got Swerve Strickland going into this. There's too much at stake for this man. I got Swerve.
I got Swerve as well.
And Swerve, yep.
I don't see what's the point of Christian having a championship right now. I just don't. Especially the AEW championship. No.
Yeah, no, it's too soon, man. Swerve Strickland had to put in a lot of work to earn that title for him to just lose it like that. Even though I do like Christian Cage a whole lot, I feel like he put over that TNT title more than maybe Cody Rhodes. I think that's the last TNT champion that really put that title on the map. Yeah, I love that championship reign with Christian Cage.
I agree.
He was a great father figure.
Great father figure. One of the best fathers out there, definitely. I wish he was my father. No.
Better than Rey Mysterio, man.
Better than Rey no, yeah. That guy, man. What a deadbeat.
What a deadbeat, right? Exactly. Look at the son, man.
Poor Dom, man. No wonder he came out so fucked up the way that he did, man. I feel bad for him. Now, one day I would like to see Christian Cage be AEW World Champion, though. I'm going to say that at AEW.
Oh, man. I don't know. If he could do this by himself without having, his lackeys around him. I'm not a fan of the Wayne family. I'm not really a fan of Kill Switch. I almost called him Luchasaurus. I'm just not a fan of the family that he has. I'd rather see him do it by himself.
And do you think that that's go away hate that you have, or is it because they're just really good heels?
I would say it's more, but I can't say it's more so go away heat because I was just hyped to see them, and now just seeing them beat the dog crap out of Swerve, and then watching Swerve's team beat the crap out of him, and then just I'm just not a fan of them. I guess I'm just more upset at how they're treating Swerve more than I am upset at Christian Cage. So you might have a point. You just turned into my therapist with the quickness.
That's what I do. That's what I try to do here. No, I'm kidding. Dude, then there's also, down the line, we got to have another tag team run with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage also.
You got to.
Right?
I want to bring the TLC match back.
Bring it back, Tony. Book it. Book that shit. This is going to be the best match in the whole entire show. This is the only match that I really care about and that I want to see. No, I'm totally kidding. This is me being sarcastic, by the way. But the anarchy in the arena, the Elite versus Team AEW. Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler, Dax Hardwood, and Darby Allin are going to be facing the Elite. Who you guys got?
I think this might be my bathroom break. I won't lie to you. Like, in all honesty, I think that might just be the one that I'm not a fan. And this isn't me because I have a hatred for the Young Bucks. I'm just not a fan of the Young Bucks' work. I think they're athletic human beings. I think they're athletic individuals. I'm just not a fan of the work they put in, and I'm not a fan of this storyline. I don't think it makes much sense. If I do have to pick, I think Team AEW will win, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to pick because I asked you, so now I'm kidding. Dude, I feel this. I feel the same way, dude, about this whole thing. It's just not like I'm not in this story. Like, at least I feel like they're trying, but it's just not landing with me, dude. It's not registering to me, So it's just like, man, I put it on, and I'm just like, shit, dude. But people love it, dude. People are so into it. They're like, oh man, this is so great. And I'm like, man, sometimes I get kind of jealous because I'm like, I wish I could feel like that about this storyline. But I just can't seem to do it, man. Devin, what you think about all this with the anarchy in the arena?
Yeah, that's when I'm gonna make my sandwich during that time. But I will say I'm going with the Elite, and that's only because look, the only thing I liked in this entire program, whatever they want to call this, is Kenny Omega, and he really ain't really did that much, even though they're on TV every beginning of the show, middle of the show. He popped up just right then, tell everybody about his, I forgot what it was in his stomach, and then they had the whole angle of them hurting him. That was the only kind of interesting part to it for me. Everything else, no, because they waited too late to want to play tough guys and stuff, and act like, oh yeah, we're the EVPs. Yeah, we're the reason you're here. What was that last year?
Yeah, I always think about it like, imagine if they did this angle with like going back to Christian Cage or like a Samoa Joe. I know they're not EVPs, so it wouldn't make sense. But if the Young Bucks brought that credibility, that intensity, like that heat that Christian Cage and Samoa Joe can get as like legitimate bad guys, legitimate badasses, I would probably be into it a little bit more because the acting that the Young Bucks do, like you said, Devin, they're just playing bad guys. And I think that's what disconnects me from this whole thing because it's like high school shit. Like Jungle Boy pouring the cup of whatever it was on Tony Schiavone, and everyone was like, oh, it's like they're bullies. They're just, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I'm sorry. But that was my rant about that.
Tony Schiavone needs to go, man. Tony Schiavone just gets disrespected week after week after like, bro, I'm sorry. You either got to cut somebody out or leave. Like, because this is getting bad at this point.
Yeah, for sure. We got a barbed wire steel cage match. The chaos continues at Double or Nothing with Adam Copeland and Malachi Black.
I got
crickets, huh? Crickets.
Look, Adam Copeland's too old to be doing these matches. Like, bro, you're too old to be doing stuff like this. But at the end of the day, I just don't think the hype has been. I don't think the hype has definitely went away, and I think it went away the moment the moment Adam Copeland spit that promo against Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks, I want to say humiliated him, but talking about his buggy ass eyes, And so after Adam Copeland got a little butthurt after that, I've seen a lot of people kind of sour on him, and even with him winning the TNT Championship, it hasn't done nothing for him at all. I got Malachi Black for the win.
Yeah, and this is for the title too. So yeah, we could be seeing a new TNT champion. I think that Adam Copeland does not need to have a championship. He's one of those guys that just his name is gonna, it's gonna get attention. Malachi Black, on the other hand, I think he can use that championship for sure, and I think he could do something good with it. Devin, what about you?
I got Malachi. And
I
want him to, have his run with the TNT belt and maybe make Collision his home state. That way, a lot of his stuff can be focused in over there, and we don't have to have some of that weird stuff on Dynamite. So that's the lane I'm gonna go down.
No,
Adam Copeland.
No, not at all. I'm afraid that I would like to see a new championship, but I think Adam Copeland is gonna take over. He's gonna retain that belt. And someone brought up a really good point. Like when I was talking about this, I made a post on Facebook or something like that, and people are like, "Why is this match happening?" And if you ask some of the AEW fans, they'll tell you that they've been building this up on Collision and Rampage and stuff like that. But someone was like, made a comment, I can't remember who it was, and they're like, this is the first match that these two are going to have ever, I think, in AEW. And the first match right off the bat is a barbed wire steel cage match. And it's just like from 0 to 100, just like real quick, And I thought that was a really good point. What are your thoughts on that?
If we can already guess, not even a finish, but a spot in this match where Edge is more than likely going to spear this man through the cage wall, and the cage wall is just going to collapse on itself. If I can predict that right now and speak this into fruition, I think this match right here is just unnecessary. And a lot of their matches are like that. Willow Nightingale versus Sky Blue, just about a month ago
on Rampage. Yeah,
and they're doing this on Rampage. They're doing this on Rampage. Collision. Like even AEW fans aren't watching that, and if you are, you're psychotic. I'm sorry. So it's stuff like that is just absolutely crazy to me. So honestly, going 0 to 100 with these matches is one of Tony Khan's biggest problems.
Devin, do you agree?
I always say with AEW's booking, it's like following what do they say? Following shooting with a stabbing.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a good way of saying it.
That's like I never wanted to see Hangman Page and Isaiah Swerve in a match ever again after that death match they had, and yet they had another match. You done did everything you can do. I didn't seen you drink this man blood. I've seen you staple him. Like you've done everything. I should never see y'all in a regular match ever again, because if you can go that far with somebody, why come back? Not even like 2 years later, maybe I'll let it slide, but a few months later, no.
Man, I love having people on my show that just agree with me all the time. No, I'm kidding. No, dude, that's how I feel the same exact way about this shit, man. And this last match, well, there's a couple more matches. Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. And that one got added. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Orange Cassidy is going to win because he always fucking wins. This guy has a neck of steel. You can give him pile drivers on the concrete floor and he'll be back up in 30 seconds. And I think he's probably only lost like a handful of matches in his whole AEW career, which is crazy. So I think we can all agree Orange Cassidy is going to win this one, right?
Yeah. It's crazy you say that too. We actually call on the heel turn. We actually call Wheeler Yuta the Iron Neck just because we seen him go through like 3 pile drivers in a match and kick out at 1. We were like, all right, bro. Like this is just getting unrealistic here. But the fact you said that about Orange Cassidy was spot on.
I'm gonna actually just go ahead and be that like dark horse in this and go Trent Beretta.
Oh, okay.
Because I
Making
feel
things
like
interesting.
Orange Cassidy feels betrayed. Maybe that was his weakness, and that's all I got. Because
The fact you're doing the AEW prediction with a CM Punk shirt on is crazy.
hey, that's just how life is when you think about it. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thunk it, man?
Oh man! And finally, I also want to get your guys' thoughts real quick about this particular wrestler, John Moxley versus Takeshita for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. First of all, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on John Moxley, and then predict the match. Who do you think is going to win?
Look, John Moxley almost made me cry just a couple weeks ago, just because we were talking about him, and we remember the times where he used to try. We remember the times where he used to actually care about wrestling. He goes into there now. You can see him like doing these elbow chops. They look like something you do at like a massage parlor. Like it's not really. It's not hitting you. This stuff that John Moxley does. He's blading on camera. He seems like he stopped caring. So not really a fan.
Devin, I know you're wearing a CM Punk shirt, Devin. But feel free to answer what your thoughts are on John Moxley as a professional wrestler nowadays.
Look, given the fact that he never saw, no, just wait. Actually, it was CM Punk that never saw Rocky IV. My fault. But look, all that aside, with John Moxley, I just want him to go step back and just find something new. And like in terms of him, it's getting stale. It's at the point now we just like, he gonna bleed like a minute into the match. Just like Izzy alluded to, his strikes and stuff, they just look like that was a good analogy, like giving somebody a massage. It's just like I think he really do need to just take a break. I think that's what it is. I know he probably feel like, I can't, every time I want to, they call me back. We'll tell him, hey, you figure that out. I gotta go figure myself out and come back with something new because people getting tired of seeing me bleed and choke somebody out and walk off with life.
Man, I'm forever. I can't unsee it now. Whenever John Moxley does those elbows, I'm just gonna think about him giving a massage all the time now. So thank you guys for that lovely picture. But yeah, that's gonna be Double or Nothing, man. But I think we got like one more Dynamite before Double or Nothing, if I'm not mistaken. Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Is it 26?
Yep.
Okay. So there's supposed to be 7 matches this Wednesday on Dynamite. And let's see if this is even something that I want to even bother tuning in for. Swerve Strickland versus Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I mean, they have they got some backstory there. They're bringing back the whole home invasion thing.
Hey, broke his house, left him leaking in his own house. Like, come on, that's as bad blood as it gets.
This is a grudge match, is he?
I'll watch it, but if a couple seconds in, Swerve starts getting his ass beat, I quit. I'm sorry. I just can't take another Swerve Strickland ass whooping.
And we're also going to get to see Satnam Singh wrestle. There's a name that we don't really get to see wrestle a whole lot.
Right. Okay. I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, me too. I was, just more random matches, it looks like, because he's going to be facing Bryan Danielson.
Oh,
how about that? How about that?
History there, right? Yeah.
Well, see, what you don't know, Izzy, is that back in the day, Satnam Singh and Bryan Danielson, they went to the same high school. I don't know. If you ask someone, they'll probably come up with some crazy story of like them having history or something crazy like that. We'll also be hearing from the Bullet Club Gold, and John Moxley is going to be in the building. So lots of wrestling going to be that we're gonna be seeing on this show. Are you guys going to try to catch Dynamite this week?
Yeah, gotta go through it. Gotta see any new updates, if anything's gonna change for Double or Nothing, because AEW is a little unpredictable.
So the matches that we went over, let me see how many matches, because usually these pay-per-views have about 10 matches on the main card, plus the pre-show, which is another like 1 or 2 matches. So the ones that we went over is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. So I wouldn't be surprised if they added 1, maybe 2 more in there. And there is 1 more Dynamite left, so they'll probably just, I don't know, come up with a way to just throw in a match last minute, which I think it's safe to say they usually do that, or they tend to do that.
Yeah.
But so we got that to look forward to. That should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we get to see some debuts. Maybe some returning stars that are in the injured list, like you guys mentioned, Britt Baker, Ricky Starks, also Jamie Hayter. Like, where are all these people at, bro? Oh, Camille too, who signed to AEW not that long ago.
Yeah,
there's a lot of possibilities. Just saying.
I think, but this AEW got themselves, they got in their own way with their own debuts now. Like when you have Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole debut on the same night, Paige, Saraya, Ruby Soho, and you say, "Oh, these are game changers." You know, it's kind of hard for a lot of these guys to come through. And besides Will Ospreay, I think Will Ospreay was the one that made a huge difference. But it's kind of hard for people to follow that up. So I think they kind of stepped up. They step on their own feet.
Yeah, and two, like I like to compare to like Camille to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, when she went to the WWE, it took her like 6 months to get on TV. She was, doing trainings and all this stuff. We didn't know when we were going to see her, but we still got video packages of Jade Cargill. We still got some hype, like, oh, she's coming. We got to see her on TV still. And I think that's what they should be doing with someone like Camille, who she got this badass look, and they need to, but AEW really likes their surprises, just like boom, just randomly just shows up and they get the nice pop and there you go. And that's it, But yeah, we'll see what happens on Wednesday and also at Double or Nothing. You guys, I had so much fun talking to you guys on the show, man. A lot more fun than I wasn't expecting. All this craziness, all this energy. So thank you. Oh man, tell the people one last time where we can find y'all.
Oh man, you can find us on the Heel Turn Podcast on Twitter _the Heel Turn. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. We actually started doing Twitch. We started live streaming on Twitch now, just playing WWE 2K24. I don't mean to brag, but I've been beating the brakes off of somebody. I don't want to say the name, but somebody just been getting the work done to them.
It starts with the D and it ends with Evan.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But even then, like, we've been having just such a fun time with all of that, and so that's where you can find us all. So especially on Twitch, because like I said, we're starting to get more active there, and it's a whole lot of fun.
Right on. But yeah, hopefully, I'd love to have you guys on again pretty soon here. So keep your DMs open so I can hit y'all up and you guys can come back.
Bro, same here. We also record on the weekend, so we'll definitely give you a text as well. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll be waiting. Right on, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys. Thanks everyone for listening. My name is Edgar. I'm the host of Snug Wrestling, and we'll talk soon.